guys, this is Svein on the SRS channel back again, and today we're gonna have a look at the 1/6 scale Skeletor figure by Mondo. And as you can see, here is the box, and this time you can see the Snake Mountain, the Snake Mountain or Skeletor's hideout on the sleeve. And it continues all the way around the box on the sleeve here, and just like with the He-Man figure, the sleeve comes off, revealing the artwork of Skeletor on the box there in purple, and on the back you get the drawing in full colors. Really nice artwork. I love this picture. This is pretty awesome. And this box also got this magnetic flap, like so, and you can see the figure on the right here, and the Castle Grayskull emblem, as well as a story for Skeletor. We can go in closer. And I think that should be like so. That should be clear enough to read, so you can just put the video on pause and read it on your own time. So yeah, let me get the clamshell out of the box, and we'll get to the contents. Just as with the He-Man figure, Skeletor comes in a double-decker, to put it that way. In the top layer you get the figure and the hands and his goat skull staff, and in the other one you get some other accessories. So let's open it up. And yeah, once again you get this backdrop in the box that you can use with your figure if you want that. First we start off with Skeletor's battle axe. It's pretty much the same axe as He-Man's axe, except for the big ass ball on top here. And yeah, done in the same nice way here. Got some really nice weathering and paint work here. Hollow plastic, I think. So be careful so you don't crack them. Skeletor also comes with his own sword here with the bones and stuff. This one is nicely painted and weathered too, with battle damage and everything. Really nicely done sword. Done in some metal grey here. Dirt on the bones and stuff. Purple for the handle. Yeah. What should we take next? We also get this little guy. Once again, I have no idea where this one comes from. It looks like the head might be on a ball joint. In that case mine is stuck. Can't pose it. Nothing on this figure seems to be poseable. just a cute little creature. You also get this extra head sculpt that's supposed to be toy accurate, and as far as I remember it's pretty toy accurate as far as I can tell. I also know that if you ordered directly from Mondo and you get the exclusive edition of either Skeletor or maybe it was He-Man, you get a skull painted more or less like this, but it's a variant of the one that's already on the figure. I'll get back to that. But yeah, that's that. Once again, you also get this stand, and just like with He-Man, it's like just a plain stand, but they got some detail on the bottom. And yet again, I do not understand why they didn't put these details on the top here. That would be more decorative. It has absolutely no use on the underside of a stand. The crotch grabber is the same. It's not a full U shape. It's more or less just a slow or a arc. So yeah, you can just cradle the figure on that. And once again, you just insert this stand with great ease, and yeah, that one ain't coming apart either. So yeah, again, it's just a stand. He-Man also comes with his own version of the power sword. It's basically the same mold, but it's the blade is done in purple instead here, and instead of the double-sided skull with the spike, you get this ram head. And yeah, he also comes with a scarab or sheath with a snake end on it. Instead of the He-Man had this battle cat helmet, Skeletor get this snake face thing. And yeah, this sheath or scarab also got some fabrics inside there, so you don't scrape up the sword, and it fits nicely in there. This one is also a two-piece. It's the gap is a lot more apparent on this one, so but it's a little bit straighter than the one on He-Man. But yeah, be careful so you don't snap whatever peg that's in there. And yeah, that's the accessories in the bottom layer. Let's get to the figure. So yeah, this is the clamshell with the figure. And I also like to mention that there's a cape taped onto the backdrop piece inside the box. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna take it up. And, yeah, this is the cape. The cape is purple on the outside, black on the inside, and it has this nice deep cut in the back here for the sword and stuff, and it's really nice and heavy. Has this chain here, and it has all these refilled parts weathering here on the edge all along the cape. And yeah, we'll get back to this cape a little bit later, but yeah, that's the cape. And here is the figure. I'll take a look at the staff first. This one is pretty heavy. Shout out to Too Many Figures, Brian, for mentioning that the staff is a lot heavier. It has the impression of a lot more attention to detail on this one. Really nicely done here. See the skull, how it's mounted on the staff here with the ram horns. It's beautiful painted here, as you can see. And it's mounted on this staff with a bunch of beautiful wrap details and ornaments and stuff here. And yeah, goes all the way down the staff with this piece on the end here with this six-sided piece, diamond shaped. And yeah, that's his staff. And the figure itself is covered in this plastic sheet thing. We can go over the hands first too. You get a pair of these gesturing hands here, grabbing hands, spellcasting hands, whatever you want to call it. They are different, but you get one for right and left, and they're nicely painted with black nails here, the blue skin, nice mold hair. And yeah, I hope these wrist pegs don't come apart on me on this figure like they did with one on the He-Man figure. You also get I'd say these two are identical. You can use one for holding the staff and one for holding the sword or whatever. Yeah, nicely painted and done the same way. Finally we have the figure itself, if I can get him out. So yeah, and just like He-Man, both hands comes wrapped in plastic, and the torso is also wrapped in plastic, so you need to find somewhere and start pulling. That's that. And yeah, and this Skeletor figure is beautifully done. Let's have a look at this head sculpt first. As I mentioned, there is a toy accurate head sculpt that's painted that way as the toy was. There is a head sculpt that's more like this one, with the same paint job. On the Skeletor figure you have this extra hinge here in the head, so you can open up and have him laughing. It's on its own ball joint in there, so you can really get him screaming. And yeah, let me see, stuff sliding around here. So looking at the head sculpt there, really nicely done. I wish the hood were fabric though. but yeah. Nice molded, and you see the Skeletor head inside here. Nicely genius way to do the head sculpt. And you have his armor or harness here. Overall, everything looks more like the cartoon on this one. I think Skeletor came out a lot better than He-Man. And yeah, you have the bones here, the bat-like symbol there, and this what you call it on the shoulders. See the figure from the front there. You have this skirt piece, and again you can separate the figure here, separate the upper body from the hip piece and take off this if you want to. And underneath you have these classic underpants here with fur and the belt. It's the same on He-Man, but it was a little bit harder to show off on that one, and I don't want to yank off the torso here just to show it, because I'm afraid the ball joint will just loosen up. But yeah, you have that skirt piece. You have the overall body is the same as with He-Man, except for the armor pieces. Here you see the shin armor. If I don't block the light and if I can keep it focused, you see nicely detailed here. There's the back of the Skeletor have these clawed toes here. So yeah, there's the back of the figure. See the gauntlets here. So yeah, nicely done figure. Skeletor also have his own power sword and the scarab, and that's attached just the same way as it's done with the He-Man figure, so I'm not gonna bother showing off that once again. But we can do the cape. I want the purple side out. You just fling it over his shoulders there. However you see fit. You just adjust it, and if the figure doesn't topple over here on the back, the scarab is now free to still stick out here, and sword can come out on the back with the cape over it there. And yeah, I'm not sure how much I like these stands though, but the figure will stand nicely on its own. The hands are swappable, like on the He-Man figure. And let me see here. Yeah, that's the left and right. You just grab the hand and pull it out, and you take your preferred hand and you plug it back in. Like so. So yeah, I got this figure in some sort of final pose for you guys. There. And it doesn't fully comply with each other here, but yeah, that's the little minifigure that came with Skeletor hair. I put on his cape, and yeah, let's try to do a slow 360 here. Hopefully I'm not in the way of the camera. And hopefully he won't tip over as he's about to do here. But yeah, there's the back. And the first 2 or 3 triangular sections of the cape, when you look at the folds, I just folded them in on themselves just to hide as much material as possible. And yeah, I just folded it up like this. And now I could have had the power sword in the sheath in the back there, but I never saw Skeletor actually carry his sword on the back like He-Man did, so I'm not gonna bother. Continuing spinning here. Here's the side. He's actually holding the stuff without any support at all here, but while standing on the stand itself, it's kind of hard to get him in a pose where the staff actually rests on the ground and he still look okay. I think the staff should have been like maybe an inch longer, but yeah, that's probably how I'm gonna display him along with this minifigure in my collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and go nuts in the comments as usual. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see Mondo's take on Merman. I've seen some prototype shots, and I've also seen some Man-at-Arms prototypes and Hordak prototypes. So yeah, these figures will be really awesome. So I'm gonna see if I can stick with this line as well. And yeah, that's it for now. I have some stuff in my loot pile at BBTS that I'm gonna get shipped, but I'm still waiting for a few other figures before I tell them to ship my loot pile box. But yeah, that was 3 figures in what? 3 or 4 days? I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.